Hello, and welcome to another episode of Top 10. I'm your host, Freddie Shaben, and today I would like to discuss with you the top 10 mistakes that most amateur escorts make. It took me a long time to put together a system to operate this business. And I know from experience that nothing comes easy, and there's always a learning curve in everything that we do. Take, for example, this video I'm making. I'm an amateur at best, but I try my best to do the best job I can. And as the time progresses, you get to learn more and more and more. So being an escort is not any different. So I'm going to discuss with you the top 10 mistakes that most escorts make, and I hope you find it useful. And when you're ready, here we go. I'm going to start with number one, which is most important to least important. So at number one is a lot of escorts forget to enjoy themselves. So most of the escorts, when they start working in this business, they're having a great time. They love intimacy. They love the sex with men, and they enjoy everything that they would have done for free to begin with. I have met a lot of escorts over the years that they have told me, had I met you years ago, I would have totally been a millionaire. I would have totally loved doing it because they were picking up guys from bars anyways. So unfortunately, some escorts, if they're not in the right mindset, they start forgetting to have fun. They become more involved as the business. They're all up in their head. You know, everything in life is about a mindset. So I noticed that a lot of escorts, they start thinking too much about things and they start hating what they're doing. And this is when I advise them usually to stop doing it. Because if you're not enjoying whatever you're doing in life, it's not worth doing. Number two, forget to take care of themselves. At the beginning, most escorts are really, really conscious about the way they look, their hair, their makeup, their skin, their beauty, their facials and spa treatments and all this stuff. Since some escorts, unfortunately, what I notice is as they get more money and they become a little bit lazy, what I noticed that they start forgetting about, taking care of themselves. And I will take that one step further since we're on this subject to say something about drugs and alcohol abuse. Some escorts cannot do this job without drugs and alcohol. And then what happens is it's a slippery slope because they do it so they can do a better job. But what happens is the job starts really suffering, their customer service starts suffering because they don't really give a crap about whatever's going on because they're under the influence. And once they lose control, it's no good. And this is why from Las Vegas to Orange County, I stopped dealing with people that did drugs or alcohol completely, not even marijuana, especially on the job. But if I noticed that someone was using recreational drugs, even off the job, and it was starting to affect their customer service and how they treated the customers, how they did their job, then I stopped working with them. And I warned them from day one that I was totally against drugs and totally against drinking or being incoherent at work. So that's very important to take care of yourself and to always stay in tip-top shape, go to the gym, take care of your beauty, take care of your makeup, your hair, do your nails, get everything done right, and stay away from drugs or excessive alcohol. Number three, no business plan. In any business you want to get into, the number one rule is to start with a business plan, especially a comprehensive one. This way, you'll know exactly how much money you need to start your business for capital and what do you need to start the business and everything else in between, like how you're going to sell it, who you're going to sell it to, where you're going to sell it, what are you selling, how you're going to market it, advertise. It's just a whole business plan, right? In this business, unfortunately, unless the escort was working with someone like me that's very organized and very business savvy and always knows what they're doing before they start doing it, what happens is a lot of the independent escorts, they just go head first because they're thinking, how hard could it be? No business plan, no nothing. Their plan is as much as well, I need to make $2,000 to pay the rent and my bills this month. So I'll just go ahead and take a picture in the bathroom and put it online, and there you have it. You're not going to be successful in any business unless you know exactly what you're doing. And the way you're going to do that is to start with a solid, comprehensive business plan. And in this business, it is no different. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Number 4 is no plan for phase 2. I'm not going to lie, I was guilty of doing that when I operated in Orange County. And when they came to get me, they got all the money, right? Had I taken care of plan number 2, which is phase 2, at the beginning, or even halfway through what I was doing, I was starting to get closer to my monetary and time goal, I would have been better off. So as usual, I'm always going to give advice from my own experience. So I failed, and I don't want anybody else to fail. Therefore, I put this at number 4. It's very important before someone starts phase 1, which is, to make the money and how you're going to make it and everything else like that. Now you must be able to figure out what phase 2 is going to be. Phase 2 is, okay, what am I making the money for? Am I going to pay student loans? Am I going to buy a home or have a down payment on a house? Am I going to pay off my bills? Am I going to pay off my medical bills or my mom's medical bills or whatever, right? Or start a business. So it's very, very important to do that early on before you get too busy or you get too far, like it happened to me, that I failed to make sure I have that phase 2 covered before I even started really phase 1. Number 5, no balance or structure between their daily, personal, and work life. For an escort to become really successful, especially independently when operating on their own, I cannot stress this enough. One has to be extremely organized. There's a lot of hats that I wore when I was an escort agent. And if I was not an organized type of person, I would have never been able to do half of the things that I was able to accomplish, and definitely would not have been able to make the money I made for myself and for my escorts, and providing great customer service at the same time. Therefore, it's extremely important to be organized. And furthermore, we have to have balance between our work life and business life. And that's in general with anybody in life, right? But in this case, especially in this field, because it's such an intimate type of situation and it's an intimate type of service that we provide, we even have to be more diligent in having that balance. Because if we lose that balance between our personal life and work life or business life, then everything is going to fall apart. One is going to suffer. So it's always great to be mindful and not to overwork and not to overplay. There's a fine balance. There's a sweet spot here for everybody. And when you're screwing up, because one of them is going to suffer. So that's really, really important. And also, since we're talking about the subject of, having balance, I found for myself, even with what I'm doing today with this YouTube channel and trying to sell a movie and the script for the screenplay and all this stuff, I find it better that if I structure my day. So I don't have a boss, I'm my own boss. So it works a lot better for me if I have a certain structure. I'm going to get up at 6, go to the gym, come back at 8, eat breakfast, shower, and start doing my daily routine of making 1 or 2 videos a day and planning for other things that I have going on the side. So it's extremely important to have that balance between work and personal life, and also having a structure to make sure everything works in unison successfully, and you're happy, and your family's happy, and your clients are happy, and everybody else is happy. Number 6, low quality pictures and videos, and sometimes not having any videos at all. This is a common theme that I notice with independent escorts. A lot of them are really, really good looking. They're very attractive. And where they fail is to be able to translate that via pictures and videos to the prospective clients. And the only way to do that is to have good, solid quality of pictures and videos. And I've talked about it in my book, How I Made $1 Million a Year as an Upscale Escort, how when I was doing my pictures, I used my cell phone. And at the time I was using an iPhone, which has, I think, in my humble opinion, has the best cameras at the time. And what I did is I shot what I called quality, candid pictures. Meaning it's not studio quality. We're not in the studio and we're over glamorizing all this stuff like glamour shots, like I used to do that in Vegas. And also at the same time, it's really, really good quality and it shows off your best assets and your best looks and everything else like that. So I stayed away, in Orange County, I started staying away from the glamorous studio shots because there was a big problem with everybody using fake pictures. And I wanted to get that out of the way right away without even them, the prospective clients, calling or texting or emailing, by using real pictures that you can tell they're real, that they're not fake. Because when we over glamorize, people are going to say, oh, this is, especially if the escort is really beautiful, like most of the escorts I worked with, if they're 9s and 10s, as is, you're going to have to overcome that objection. So I did that right away by using really good candid shots that were great, and they showed that this is a real person. A lot of escorts do not use videos still. In my time when I was active as an escort agent, I always used videos. I go back to 1999 when I started using video, and it was really advantageous. Why? Because it's a lot harder to retouch a video, and that shows the prospective client that this is what I really look like. Here you go. Here's a video. Here's the way I move and everything else like that. And of course, as you know, if you're following my my videos and stuff and my books, I've gone one step further by doing a POV, which is with me and my escorts, when I hired them to show my clients what they're capable of, my existing clients. And I showed a little bit of this, maybe like 13, 14 seconds to people that I'm trying to get to book when I needed it. So that was another strategy that I used. So it's extremely important, and that's why I put it in number 6, to have great quality pictures and videos. So that's one of the mistakes is people using very, very low quality pictures and videos, and that's not going to work out and that's not going to help. In fact, I want to take it one step further to say that I have been seeing a lot of escorts, and this was a problem from years ago as well, where they're using just regular shots in the bathroom with the sink, and it's all messy and the background is all messed up. I don't want to go into detail of the pictures and all this stuff, but it's always good to have good quality pictures and videos. Number 7, poor customer service skills. In any business, no matter what it is, customer service is always number 1. That's the way I was trained back in the restaurant business days, my nightclub business days, my talent agency, and everything else in between. And this business is no different. Customer service is number 1, always, ever will be number 1. And in my humble opinion, a lot of the escorts that I knew in the past, they have really, really bad customer service. And customer service does not start just with the customer that books and comes and gives you money. Customer service is from step 1 all the way till the time they come and see you. It's not from the time that they give you money. No, it's from the time that they call, text, or email. I've always been really nice. I've always been an advocate of excellence in customer service. And to be honest with you, this is one of my main secrets why I made a lot more money for my escorts than anybody else makes. And they could not believe how much money I was making and how much money they were making. It's because of customer service. I mean, you have a lot of factors, of course, but this is very important for everybody. And this business is no different. A lot of escorts, they get tired when they're screening because they got to do the screening themselves. They got to see the clients themselves. They got to book, plan, all this stuff. And I know it's not easy, but if you're on the phone and you have a bad attitude, guess what? At some point, people are going to get tired of calling you, okay? Because nobody wants to be talking to someone that is not nice to them and not showing them the respect, especially if they're paying customers. So goes without saying, excellence in customer service is a must, and it should be a priority. Number 8, ineffective or non-existent screening system. This is a major problem in our industry. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with escorts that did not work with me. And one of the main questions I would ask them is, how did you screen your clients? Because if you know me, you know that my number one priority is always safety. And the number one factor in safety is the screening. Whether I'm hiring the escorts or whether I'm screening the clients, screening is extremely important because that could make or break you and the operation. I have met so many escorts that their screening was basically a copy and paste text without even talking to the clients, and they give them their address almost right away. I couldn't believe it. And and when they get busted, they'd act all surprised. And I always used to tell them, I'm not surprised. What I'm surprised at is it took so long to get you busted. It was just a numbers game. Whenever your number is up, they're going to get you. That's why I always made sure to focus on a great screening system that made sure that I knew exactly the type of person I wanted to bring into my operation or into my circle, whether it's the escort and the client. And also I wanted to make sure that they are who they say they are and that they can financially afford my rate at the time, and to make sure that they're not violent, robbers, pimps that's trying to get the girls, of course, law enforcement, and everything else in between. So without a good screening system, you are destined for failure. So I always make sure that screening system is very solid, using all the methods that I outlined in my book, How I Made $1 Million a Year as an Upscale Escort. Number 9, money is the number one deciding factor versus safety. I know a lot of escorts and other people in other businesses that make money as the deciding factor for what decision they make for their business, no matter what it is. And I'm here to tell you, when I made money in my life, number one, it didn't work out. The same thing in this business. I've always preached and practiced that my number one priority in business, especially in this business, is safety. And I live my life today under the same rule. Even though I'm not an escort agent anymore, I'm retired, even though that I'm not doing anything illegal, but still, safety will always remain number one in my life. Whether I'm driving, whether I'm hanging out with someone, or whatever it is, I gotta make sure that I am safe and everybody with me is safe. And therefore, in this business, it's crucial that we do not make our decisions based on only money, but and disregarding safety. So I'll give you an example. If a client tried to offer $10,000 to do bareback full service, of course, my answer was always no, and that client was going to more than likely be fired. And the escort that even negotiate or try to do that, they were fired. And I've fired many people like that. At the same time, I've never made any decisions based on money alone, because anytime someone does that, something is going to give, something is going to happen where that blur our judgment. And last but not least, at number 10, poor or non-existent marketing, advertising, and promotional strategies. Like any other business, and this is no different, it is extremely important to have a solid, like I said before, business plan. But within that business plan, you have to have a solid how you're going to advertise, advertising plan, to whom you're going to advertise, your demographic, and how you're going to promote your services, and how you're going to market it. Extremely, extremely important. All three goes hand in hand. And I always made sure that I had a great plan for any one of those three components in order to become successful and able to bring the clients that I need to bring, the type of clients and the quality clients and the money that came with it. So if the escort starts this business without a business plan, without a marketing plan, without a promotional plan, without an advertising plan, or they just take $20 and advertise at a really low quality website because they don't want to spend the money. Look, it takes money to make money. So therefore, it's very, very important to have all the plans in place. And I would do that before I even started any business. And side note, just because it's number 10, it does not mean that it's not important. It's very, very important. It could have been number 3 or 4, but I just went by process elimination, what's most important, just in my humble opinion. There you go. That wraps up our top 10 mistakes that most escorts make. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and you still have time this month to get that free ebook and audiobook of my best-selling book, Madam Suzanne. Please hit that like button. That helps. Comment if you like. If you want me to do anything else as far as videos, please let me know. Give me a heads up. And also tonight and every Wednesday night at 6 p.m., I do my live streaming where we can interact and you can ask me any questions that you want. No holds barred. I have nothing to hide. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate you. I really appreciate your support. It makes a huge difference, and I really, really love you for that. And please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. And if you have not found your happiness, please look within. You will find it. It's yours. You will get it. I promise. Okay? I will see you soon.